Good afternoon. Ooh, how are you? Very good. Somebody told me, how is there? How are you? Good, good, good. Wow, it's been what a day. Like I was thinking, like, where has the day gone? Like it's 5 o'clock, but somehow it has just flew off somewhere. So how were your conversations? Good. How about great? Productive? What else? Wonderful. Did you felt you were engaged? Like not let me rephrase it. It can mean different things. Like maybe somebody was getting a proposal, but engaged meaning like being engaged in the conversation. Yeah. So this evening for less than half an hour is a short round of the day. We're going to give a floor to some of the keynote listeners who have been going around, what they have noticed and heard. Then you will also have a chance to express very more like emotionally how this day has been for you. And I'm going to also explain how this work will be taken forward. And it's directly linked also tomorrow how this day going to be. And then going to be some practical announcement about today and also already a little bit of tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day of the conference. Oh, yes. Oh. So, but I know Dea has found a few keynote listeners from their premises going around. So yeah, the stage is yours to invite our keynote listeners on the stage as well.
Una, Georg, can you join me? We can just sit here together, have a small chat, what has been happening in the last couple of hours. We noticed that you have been working hard, that you were working in your groups in a nice areas, that you had very interesting discussions. And we're, of course, going to capture all this because you filled in the harvesting tool as well. So we're not going to go into details about what were the outcomes of your discussions, but rather we're going to see the broader picture. This is why we involved the keynote listeners from the beginning to see also what's happening on a broader scale, not specifically maybe in each of the group, but to see if there are some patterns, if there are some things that are not spoken, or just to see what's the atmosphere. So, Una, Georg, what have you noticed?
Well, I'd say two big themes that I've noticed, first of all, would be one was resilience, kind of as an overarching theme, kind of topics related to mental health, loneliness, but also societal pressures, what young people feel pressured to do and how they're equipped to cope with it. And then the second issue that I really noticed and that was quite different and engaging was around the topic of free speech, young people breaking out of their bubbles. And I know we've had a lot of conversations here about representation and who are we really representing and kind of representing those people that we don't often hear so much from. So I thought that those are two really interesting aspects.
Oh, wow. Georg?
Yeah, in my point of view, what I could observe is that there is a basic quality in the way we listen to each other and we dive into the topics. The quality of the conversations that I have seen, that I realized, is that we really are passionate about what we talk about and to dig deeper to find out what's at the core of the issues.
Oh, wow, okay. So do you think there was a real dialogue happening there? Were the young people sitting together with decision makers? Or were there like separate groups, only young people or only DJs? Or how was this present?
Yeah, I think from my point of view, every group that I saw had both young people and decision makers, so that's really great, well done. And I think the other thing is we saw kind of engaged dialogue. Sometimes the dialogue was a little bit more one-sided, so don't be afraid to, on both sides, to challenge each other and to be a bit more, I'd say, controversial and provocative.
Yeah, would you agree?
Yes, and there's this one thing that we talked about before when reflecting on the issues is that somehow we have the feeling that we are not leaving the safe space about issues and topics that we know about best. I mean, that makes sense, of course. We are in the youth field, and many of the things we have the feeling they keep coming up, and of course, they keep coming up because they are relevant to us. But what would be really interesting is also to see beyond what else is there, what we have to tackle. So, for example, the observation, I picked this out, I observed the theme of agriculture. I find super interesting, and this is a relevant topic. But yeah, what is the reason why we are not discussing it?
Okay, very interesting. So, based on your observation from today, what would you recommend to all of us to take with us for the future? Do you have any recommendations? For sure, we have more than 20 topics here. We are going to work on those topics, but maybe more general recommendations, how we can improve the dialogue, cooperation, what's next?
Yeah, I think that to follow up on what Georg said as well, that the topics are super interesting, and there's been a lot of topics proposed that we do usually talk about, and as he said, it's important, but there's also topics that we don't normally touch upon so much. So I think the thing is, don't be afraid to talk about a topic, even if you don't know so much about it. There's no wrong answer. Engage with it and learn. This process is also about learning. We always talk about informal and non-formal education. This is part of it. So don't be afraid to engage with that part of it as well. And maybe you'll learn something from someone else and provide new thinking to someone who maybe knows the topic very well.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
Not much. Yeah, I think this is also in line with what we have thought this cycle design is about. It should leave space, and it should encourage also to explore into new fields, new topics. So we chose this question: what's next for young people in Europe? Also to call upon all of you to see, okay, what's new ideas. This is like also from the bureaucratical side, those people in the ministries, in the commission, they're always pointing out that we have to make use of the creativity, of the new ideas, the quality that young people bring into this process. So let's try to explore a bit more of this.
Great. We have a lot of steps in front of us, so we're going to take this with us. But what I also saw, just walking around a little bit, was that, yes, indeed, you were all very much engaged into the topics. At least this is how it looked like, that you were all very passionate, proposing the topic, being willing to host the topics, and then just going deeper into the topics. So we really hope that you finished your harvesting, that you put it there in the form, because researchers already started looking at it, and tomorrow we're going to see more of it, and for sure this is going to be included in the final product of the conference, in the guiding questions that are going to serve us for the consultations. So I hope that you both agree that they all deserve a round of applause. Thank you very much for sharing these insights with us. Just maybe to let you know that we are still following also social media, and Kristen is doing research about what's happening there. But for now, we just wanted to allow you to see what's happening through the screens that we're having in the room. And tomorrow morning, we're going to present some kind of overview what the outside world was trying to communicate with us as well. So, Piret, that's all from our side.
Very good. Thank you very much for this input. And to maybe build on what just Tea said, that indeed the researchers are starting to work on this material tonight. So basically, they said, like, if you haven't done the harvesting sheet yet, then another half an hour for that. Is there somebody else working on harvesting, just to maybe filling the document? Oh, it seems like all done. So, but they really start today to kind of look what is a bigger information field there. And as they are said, that part of tomorrow morning is we're gonna take like a first kind of sneak peek what has been the insights of this day. So stay tuned and for sure come also for the morning session as well. Yeah. You cannot come. Oh, you're leaving already. No. Anyway, so if you look around in the room, find one most nicest person you can find. They're all around. And I give you a few minutes as well, just to reflect on the day, what has been for you personally the key takeaways from today's conversation. So it's really personally, then really speak from your heart, what you experienced, explored, discovered. Few minutes, and we're gonna do a kind of pop-up microphone as well to hear what has been your experience of the day. So find a nice person to talk about today and what has personally been for you key takeaways. Grab somebody from next table, from the couch, at the back, next chair, whatever. Few minutes for you. So give a thanks to your conversation partner. I'm sure that it feels like continuing, but I also know that we are preparing for the evening party as well. So round off this little conversation. Great, thank you. And also, as yesterday, we open a floor for few words as well. So if any of you would like to share with us what were personally for you the key takeaways, we have few volunteers in the room with a microphone going around. And if you feel like sharing, then please also stand up. So it's good for the streaming as well. So, and it has to be very short, simple, and sweet, because really we also are preparing soon for the party as well. So is there somebody who would like to share about today? What were the key takeaways? Something really is burning and wants to be expressed. Raise up your hand so that we see microphones to be moved around. Oh, yes, we have there as well. And please also already stand up, and if you talk with the microphone. Yeah?
Yeah, I just really enjoyed hearing the different perspectives that the different countries and the representatives of different organisations had on the topics, because they were like much broader than I was expecting, especially hearing from like the Eastern Partnership countries and stuff like that. And it was a perspective that I hadn't considered before.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you see anybody else somewhere? It's like always light. Anybody else who would like to feels like, yeah, I see up there and we have a microphone coming.
Yes, hello, Marius from Germany. We had our workshop today on the problems of the European Union, like the fundamental problems and how we could solve them. And the very great understanding that I got out of this discussion is that when we got visions, and I believe we all got a vision, or got different visions maybe, but then we have to stand up and we have to defend those visions and really talk about the visions. And what is currently happening a lot is that we talk about little points of the vision, but we're not confident enough of our visions to just stand up and tell everyone about it, and then hope that the vision will come true one day.
Okay, thank you. One more voice I see. Yeah?
Hi, I'm Sarah from Austria. There were two things I was very surprised about today. The one was that in a group work, I'm usually used to having one person that works and 9 other people who just listen and don't do anything. But this was not at all the case. Everyone was really engaged and really passionate. And the second thing was that it was a really long afternoon, and I felt that we had more fun than we actually worked. And then at the end, when we did the harvesting sheet, I saw we had done so much work in this nice environment, and I really liked that a lot.
Thank you. Good. Okay, one more voice before I running through.
My name is Nengi Benstow, Ireland Irish delegate. Yesterday we talked about having an open mind. So today I saw that at work. People with similar themes were willing to merge together as one, rather than having 2 different themes. I think that was really good for me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was really nice to walk around, and I really appreciate that, also bringing up this quality of depth. I have this belief strongly that conversations can shape the future. It sometimes takes a lot of time. Creating meaning and shared meaning takes a lot of time, but you have to start from somewhere. And also, I believe that the deeper the conversations, the more unity you have, and the superficial they are, there are more conflicts as well. So I believe a lot shapes and shakes when the conversations can be deep, and maybe also shape something about how we ourselves see things. If our own perspectives change, then at some point it also takes to different actions. Thank you very much, and feel free on the way back to the hotel, share other key takeaways as well. And I'm sure that we have experienced the day very differently as well. But it seemed that something happened somewhere on the space today. So to round up this time here, I want to maybe highlight a few things about the evening program. We're going to finish up here very shortly. You can take a bus back to the hotel, refresh a bit, and then you're all welcome for the dinner at Seaplane Harbor with some food, with some music, hopefully some great moves on the dance floor. And we're also going to have a visit by our president. So I hope it's going to be a lovely evening together. And the latest bus is at 2 o'clock in the night, but there's also option to leave earlier as well if you feel that the feet are, have done their work for the night. So this is about today. Tomorrow is the last day of the conference. And one of the little thingy tomorrow is that we're going to work in a different space. So we're going to work at a power station where we all had dinner yesterday. So just when you come inside. So this is going to be our space of working. Yeah, you all know that badges are part of your life, at least for these days. So take the badge with you as well. And if you're leaving tomorrow, take your luggage with you. We can store it here. So after the conference, if you're already leaving for airport, then you can take them with you. And the focus of tomorrow is harvesting the outcomes of this conference here. We're going to talk about how do we take it forward, what are the next steps. We also have a visit from Commissioner, and there's a little thing, how do we pass this conference to the next one. Yeah. So, anything else? No. Are you ready for the night? No? Did I say no? No. Great. But let's, I think, did I say all? Yeah, there. Did I? No. David, should I? No, all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I thought let's put an end to this day and using your help. And for that, you sit where you are, but it would be nice to use 2 of your hands. So make it like, it means basically putting away your phones if you're having them. I was just looking like, maybe there's a new word, like how would you say get rid of the phone? But 2 hands. So our task is a common task. So it means that we should really grasp it together and do together 3 claps. No, together. Yes, and somebody has other ways to do their claps. So it means like really together when the time is right for 3 claps. Let's see if we can grasp the vibe in the room and get these 3 claps like in coherence, yeah? That was already a link to the party where you can applaud more. Great. So have a nice ride to the hotel, get your bags, get ready for the party, and see you soon.